Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Black Robe podcast. We are so excited today because we're talking all things Freedom Summer Symposium. But first, please welcome my lovely co-host. Hi, Miss Carol. How are
Hello.
you?
I am doing so well, but I am exhausted.
You've
Ugh.
been putting in some hours and some time behind the scenes, Miss Lady, trying to get this symposium together.
And I'm not as young as I used to be. I love
You
it when people say, "Oh, wow, you don't look like you're 61." I said, "Yeah, but my body knows."
I was
I
just gonna say, you
cannot,
always like to throw that out because I forget how, I mean, not old, but
my
you look
body,
so
you
good. You look
cannot
so
fake
good.
out your body. It knows exactly how old it really is. And I have been a little bit sleep deprived because there's so much going on with the symposium. And
Yeah.
tonight we're going to talk about how we're doing it and
Yep.
why we're doing it. And
Yep.
just make sure everybody knows that please don't try to get me on the phone because it ain't happening. And listen, if you're not already my Facebook friend, you're not going to be my friend right now because I'm too busy with the symposium right now.
Yeah. It's crunch time. We've both been pedal to the metal, feet on the ground, doing everything so that we can have a smooth event. But let's just talk about, yeah, what have been the most recent things that we've been developing, Carol?
Woo, today,
Today.
right? Today. We'll work backwards
What
from
should we?
today because one
Mhm.
of the big things is, just getting the social media
Yeah.
and the Eventbrite and all of that stuff
Mhm.
done and working, right? The links all in, oh Lord. Somebody said, send me a link on the phone. It's like, oh God, how do I do that?
Oh Lord.
Like, I don't know how to send you a link on the phone. Let me call a yawn. Let me see if Anzhane can walk me through it. It has been such a learning curve because everything is in this virtual environment now. And so event planning is
Yeah.
totally different than it was back in the day when I first started planning events in 1986, girl.
Oh
That
yeah.
was Everything's different. You don't have to go see a venue now. You
Yep.
don't have to worry about tasting the catering before you order and all the
Mhm.
stuff you used to have to worry about with an
Yeah.
event.
It's a new world.
It is
It
a whole new world.
definitely. But we're excited. We are moving with the times. I'm trying to get Carol to adapt and come along with us. We got to get all of the 60 plus, the 50 plus. You guys, come along with us. Open up to change. It's growth,
I
especially
feel like you are pulling us like, come on,
I
Carol,
got you, Carol.
let's go. Yeah, you you pulling it on a rope. Like, come on, Carol, let's go. But
No.
I actually try. One thing I'm pretty good at is knowing what I don't know how to do and being honest about that. Not trying to fake it, not trying to figure it out. And the beautiful thing about being surrounded by these young adults, these beautiful, mostly young women, but we've got a couple of very fine young men helping us too. And we're going to call them out in a minute here. But having all of you around, bringing your perspectives, bringing what you know how to do well, and your egos are such that you can let other people do their thing, but give some good feedback that makes the whole product better. And I
Hmm.
love it because it's like a fine machine. I feel like I'm like, just an air traffic controller with all of these brilliant, mostly all of you are younger than me, but mostly 18 to 25-ish year olds or 35-year-olds. That's who's running this thing and shaping it and building it. So I love it. It's a beautiful experience for me.
It is. And it's a beautiful experience for me too, Carol. One, to just be able to really have an impact and a real deciding role in this, machine. I mean, it's been so empowering. I just have to thank you for that, really giving me the space and some the power too, to make decisions. And I got to tell you guys, when we first were talking about how we're gonna, advertise and promote this event, when I said we got to do a video, Carol was like, "Oh, let's do it." She was on board. I told her, I was like, people my age, we're not reading flyers that got a whole bunch of, walking past that. We're scrolling past that, we want a quick video that's going to be intriguing, that's going to catch our attention, give us all the information that we need to know, and excite us, right? So, Carol, yeah, you really gave me the...
Hey, I had no clue what that really meant, but you were you were so excited about it. I said, she's on to something. And with that level of excitement, I knew you would find whoever you needed to make it so. And you found this brilliant young artist, visual producer. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna see what the two of you came up with. So who was your collaborator on this video for the symposium?
Yes, well, our producer, videographer, his name is Caden Carter. He goes by Caden Carter, located out of Federal Way, Washington, just right down the road. But he's been doing this. He's native to Washington. He is Black, right? And this is giving him a chance to step into the nonprofit realm. A lot of young Black producers, they kind of stick themselves in the box of only music, right? Mm-hmm. But allowing him to see that he can apply his crafts and his talents towards something really productive, I think was just an amazing opportunity for him to diversify and a challenge too. And I mean, it paid off, right? It did.
Well, so, and then, you two had done sort of a final draft. Mm-hmm. And we took it to the commish.
Yep. Took it to the committee.
To the committee, the commish. And the commish had some refinements. And so a lot of what you had to do was edit and make these changes. And I have a sense of what that probably looks like. But, it seems simple to us to say, hey, put this here, do that, put that there. But today I had Yana, who's working on the social media, say, do you realize how much work it is to move that around the way you want it moved around? It's like, no, I don't know. I don't know what it takes. So I have to say, I appreciate Caden Carter and you taking the lead on that, because I think the video is very well done. So when do we get to see it?
Let's see it. Let's just, instead of telling you guys what the symposium is really all about, we have a video. You guys are gonna see this circulating on your social medias, but you'll see it right here first on the Black Robe podcast. So
yes,
you guys,
they're gonna see it on Facebook, Instagram. We'll probably try and figure out
the website.
Out of the website. Here we go.
All right.
Stuff like this happens more than it should.
The anger and frustration over the killing of George.
Being Black is a crime.
Here to demand that justice is served.
Hello and welcome. I'm Carol Mitchell, and I'm here with the beautiful Anzhane Slaughter. We are together launching the Institute for Black Justice, which we call the IBJ.
The IBJ challenges you to leverage and amplify your voice to begin a multi-generational dialogue of hope and justice system transformation.
The goals of the IBJ Freedom Summer Symposium are to expand community knowledge and understanding of the national and local history and structure of civil rights and social justice movements.
We want want to engage a small cohort of young adults in a 3-day design challenge to identify compelling social justice issues for their demographic. We want to foster a dialogue between young adults and legacy civil rights organizations in Tacoma. This is going to set a stage for our ongoing intergenerational activism. Dates are June 28th through 30th, 2021.
But you have to do it before April 30th. We have a limited space, only 30 spots available, so do not wait.
Participants will also receive a $500 stipend.
And for those who are not a part of the 18 to 35 demographic, but still want to be a part of this amazing challenge, we are looking for up to 150 guests. With a small donation of only $60, you can help to make this Freedom Summer Symposium an epic event that is sustainable for years to come. Your donations will afford you a gift bag full of IBJ swag to make this virtual setting feel as in-person as possible.
Submit your donations at instituteforblackjustice.org. We cannot wait to host you all in this year's unique Social Justice Design Challenge.
Love the music. The music.
I know. Yes. Oh my God. It doesn't get more exciting than that.
And you sound social justice design
challenge. I had to use the tones in my voice to, bring some life to the video. But overall, guys, these are the key takeaways for our Freedom Summer Symposium. It is a 3-day design challenge from June 28th to 30th. This is a paid participation. So that means everyone who participates, all 30 participants that are between 18 and 35 will receive $500 to literally be a part of an event that is going to change your life. That's directly going to impact your life, especially those that are of color, right? We are looking for people who have faced adversity, who are passionate about social justice and change. And we are going to pay you to do something about that. We're going to pay you to activate your passion. So apply. It's just a small survey monkey kind of thing. We have a QR code. We also have a link for you guys to apply. It won't take too much of your time. And if anything, you guys are making an impact. So deadline for applications is April 30th. You'll see this video circulating. You'll see information circulating all throughout Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on our website at instituteforblackjustice.org. This literally is going to be an amazing event. Carol,
I know. But I when I heard that piece from our very first Black Robe podcast, we have come a long way.
I know. We got backgrounds.
I mean, we were flowing in and out of the video. the beauty, and when we talked about it with the commish, they said, well, hey, that kind of is the point, that you need to just sort of start and get on out there, get involved, and then let things evolve over time and improve over time. You don't have to be perfect right out of the gate. You come to the symposium with some ideas. If you're going to be part of the design challenge, that human-centered design process is a beautiful, facilitated way to take your idea from brainstorm all the way through to a prototype that you're going to share with the audience on that 3rd day. It's going to be fun. And oh my goodness, the speakers, we do know that Reverend Lennox Yearwood is coming.
Yes, okay, Mr. Hip Hop. Okay,
yes, Mr. Hip Hop Caucus is coming. He'll be there virtually, of course, but he's definitely going to be with us virtually. So we're excited about that because, we've been working on him since last summer.
Yes. I mean, guys, if you don't know who Mr. Yearwood, Reverend Yearwood is, he is a national figure, has led hip hop or campaigns across the country led by hip hop artists. So, has worked with Beyonce, has worked with T.I., has worked with Keisha Cole. These are major names. And with all the activism that's going on, celebrities have been involved. They know that they have a platform and he's doing his part by getting all of these high profile celebrities together and leveraging their platforms. So I'm surprised that little old IBJ was able to get a spot with Redwood Yearwood, okay?
You have not because you ask not, and you receive not because you ask amiss. So we asked a hit. We did not ask amiss. We asked again. And we're persistent, right? By the way, we're celebrating our 501c3 birthday.
Yes, we are. Hercules. We're 501c. Thank you so much to the Tacoma Color Women's Club for being our mother, as you have been to the rest of the community for decades, right?
Yes.
But it's time for us little birdies to fly.
Just push us right on out of the nest. Yes. But what that means, we were so fortunate. That video in the beginning, we were like, okay, how are we going to do this big thing called the symposium when, it's just the two of us and we don't have our 501c3. We don't have big money in the bank, nothing.
Right.
And people just gave generously to us. Of course, Group Health Community Foundation really boosted our spirits because they came in as a title sponsor on the symposium with $25,000, which is huge in my book. I mean,
my book
some
too.
folks don't think that's very much money, but hey, in my bank account, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that made us functional, for our first 6 months. I mean, and really get this symposium off the ground. That's what we needed. So.
And so we have applied for some other grants that we'll know by the end of April about those. But I just want to take an opportunity to thank every single true justice visionary, every single movement maker. We put their names on our Facebook page a few weeks ago. And we just need to thank them because they believed in us from the very beginning and wrote checks to support us and help us from the beginning. And now this baby is about to have a party, a birthday party.
We sure are. So this party is going to be virtual. And as Carol mentioned, it's going to be fun. It's human-centered design, and it's designed by people like me, by,
in your age demographic too.
My age demographic that, understand we need to make this entertaining, right? So we're looking for artists. We're looking for, whether it's spoken word or you do music, you have a craft. We want to be able to filter you into our programs to kind of break up all of the discussion and kind of add nice vibe. It's a vibe. This symposium is definitely going to be a vibe.
Yeah. So now if they don't want 2.5 days worth of Motown, they need to come on and bring the hip hop and the spoken word, right? Because look, my networks are all Motown sound, solid gold oldies, right?
Okay. I mean, I don't mind a little old with the new now.
That's what we want. It's an intergenerational experience. It's going to energize you with music and artistry. But the theme came to me and our friend Sally Perkins, you and our friend Eve. Oh my goodness, why am I blanking on Eve's name? I don't know. Eve Bowen, of course.
Yes,
Eva Bowen.
Of course.
The four of us and Threat Brown we did a little preliminary experience of the human-centered design model. So we got to go through it with Dr. Divya McMillan and her assistant Lan. They took us through what the design challengers will go through.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful process of
oh wow,
going
it really
wide, you know, you diverge and then converge and then, you know, prioritize and make some decisions. And so in that process was the theme birthed the idea of good trouble. John Lewis, who just passed away, right? Good trouble, necessary trouble. That's what he always used to say. And we want young adults and the rest of the community to come and get into a little good trouble with us.
Oh yeah.
From 28 through 30 and reconstruct that dream of equity and justice. Show us what it should look like now. We think we know, and what we'll hear from some of the speakers is how they saw it in 1963. But how did we see it? How do we see it in 2023 or 2033? What does equity and justice look like, and how are we going to make it happen? That's what you all, your great minds, your big brains, the ones that are in the design challenge will take that on. And then the audience of 150 or so people, guess what we get to do? We get to look into your room while you're working. And
you make it sound so parental. Stop it.
Yes, we'll be looking over your shoulder, making sure you No, we don't. We just want to observe this process. I think people need to see the human-centered design process and how beautiful and elegant it is. Yeah. And we're applying it to social justice. We're wrapping it with history. It's sort of like a little gift. Social justice is in the box, and it's wrapped with human-centered design. And then we got a little historic bow on the top of it. It's a beautiful thing.
It is. And I'm really happy, actually. Like, sometimes when young people hear the word history, they just automatically fall asleep. They automatically start drooling. And, you know, but no, I am actually genuinely excited about this history component. It's not gonna be dry and boring. And It's so important to be able to link history to the present. Young people need to realize that we are in a period of reconstruction again. We are in a new revolution. What happened in the 60s is happening now. The same marches that happened then are happening now. So we should be able to place ourselves in the shoes of history makers. Ooh. We are history makers.
Say what? This child is preaching.
So that's why we got to throw the history in there. We got to give you guys some context to why what we're doing right now is so relevant, it's so important, it's so necessary, right? So that's going to be day one is history. Day two, we're going to talk about the present. We're going to talk about the social justice issues, the real problems, the issues, right? We're going to do a lot of digging into that work on day two. Day three, we're going to talk about and really produce ideas, prototypes, solutions, right? And every group will have an opportunity to apply that to like a business mind state, right? Be able to present this idea and learn how to perfect your confidence and believe in yourself and have that mindset, that you can speak to a group, right? That may have 150 people, right? That are, in executive roles and that have places that know people with money, right? You'll have those opportunities. So that's how we're kind of laying it out. And then we're gonna break it up with DJs and music and poetry and just vibes. We're gonna make it entertaining, but educational at the same time.
So, yeah, because that's real life. Real life is not a one-way lecture.
Yeah.
Right. It's a dialogue. It's an interaction. It should have music and poetry and energy. We want that to happen. your grandmama's there and your baby sister.
Yeah.
Real life has that kind of diversity in it.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
we're not trying to produce something where everybody that's talking has, gray hair and, a gold
No.
chain, right?
Yeah. No. No. Which
Nothing,
actually
no
reminds me
shade
of,
on the gold chain wearing people
I
or
mean,
the
hey,
gray hair.
gold ain't is not a bad investment now. If you want to buy jewelry, it better be gold. At least you might be able to, sell it to the pawn shop and get some money back. Can't do that with no cheap stuff.
Now, listen, I've had a couple of folks ask me, why are you doing this event?
Yeah.
Because, we could just take it easy and coast and keep doing our podcast and our advocacy work that we do.
Yeah.
And, we've had people support that body of work without doing this big, heavy lift called the symposium. So why for you do you think we should be doing it? I think I know why for me, but I'm curious from your perspective, why do you think it's important for IBJ to put this on as an annual event?
Well, we are the Institute for Black Justice. I don't know no institute that, is not making real impacts, real strides, that has events. So one, if we want to classify ourselves as an institute, an educational but empowering organization and a body, right? We have to actually be touching and impacting some sort of demographic, and we chose the 18 and 35. We chose this upcoming generation of leaders, and so one, I think we got to do it in order to actually put some respect on our names.
All right, to get some street cred. This will give us street cred.
Street cred. But I think too, this builds community. Events like this, especially in a time of COVID where we cannot meet and gather together, it's easy to kind of just get lost in your own world and, to maybe not see the bigger picture, or maybe, just derail a little bit, right? A lot of people have been facing mental health issues on top of all of the social justice things that have been occurring to our community, right? We need to come out as leaders, right? And at least host an environment where we can build community around these many issues, right? We need to strengthen our community. I think this is a way that we're strengthening and nurturing our community during this time.
And again, I think I've said it before, part of my why is that's what true leaders do. So for me, it's about leadership. If you are not replicating yourself and bringing other people along with the expectation that at some point they will stand wherever you're standing, I don't consider you a leader. Now,
okay.
You may hold a position. Hey, don't make me take my earrings off.
Oh, snap.
If you're not investing in who's coming behind you and who's standing beside you, that is not leadership.
Yeah.
The selfishness that we saw at the federal level, the self-centeredness that we're still seeing, I don't consider people who behave that way to be leaders, because it's a very short-sighted way to think, only about what's good for me right now and what's good for mine. We're all stronger when we build each other up, and especially that next generation. Why? You have the energy, you have the creativity, you have in some cases, you have the technology skills that some of us do not have, right? The other night with the commish, I was trying to figure out how to play the video. And one of y'all took over my computer and just did it. It's like, well, okay. That is the other thing that happens is when we have that interaction with younger demographics, they teach us, if we allow ourselves to be taught, we can learn. I have learned so much from this experience that I didn't know back in September of 2020. It has been a learning experience, and frankly, I'm thinking about getting me some blonde braids.
You like them, huh? Carol, you gonna fool some people now. You better be careful. You get these type of braids, oh no, they gonna think you Kelly Rowland or something. You gonna be
yes, indeed.
Yeah, watch out.
I might bust out with, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill?
Yes, you see, but we can work together, young and mature, old, whatever you want to say. I mean, I learned so much from you, Carol, and I really am. I mean, I'm learning as I'm growing, and I think that's what makes this experience so special to me, right? Because I mean, this is a huge event that I can say that I had a role in, producing and conducting at only 24. I'll be 25 in a couple months. Like, this is huge. This is.
I know you have a birthday coming up.
Yes, June 5th. Don't forget,
I won't forget. So we might have to call you out and give you some birthday cake at the symposium.
Oh, yeah, because it'll be after. Well,
it'll be after, but that's all right. I have a rule. Now, see, you're too young for this, but my rule is I celebrate one day for every year. So that's every year you get older, you get like extra days. And then,
so I get 25 days this year, I guess.
There you go.
And that's right in the middle of the symposium.
Perfect. Yeah. So just take the whole month of June and celebrate 25 straight days. There you go. That way people don't have to remember exactly what your birthday is.
Right.
Sometime in June. And then you get gifts for 25 days instead of just one.
Hey, I might start using that rule. I'm going to adapt that. I like that rule. And it makes sense.
I just want to, as we wrap up, I just want to make sure people understand, though, that everybody listening to this understands that this is a product of an intergenerational planning process. It's a collaboration with 18 to 35-year-olds and 35 to 45-year-olds and 45 to 75-year-olds, right? We've all touched it, and I think it's our gift to the community, because so much unpleasantness has happened. By the time June 28th happens, it will have been a year since George Floyd and Manny Ellis and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud, all of that death and dying and sadness, and the Derek Chauvin trial and all of that stuff. This is an opportunity to release some of that anxiety, some of that sadness, and have a moment to heal and to renew ourselves and re-energize with the music and the poetry, to learn, get a sense of history and context for why all those things happened. They didn't happen in a vacuum. It's been a culmination, an ongoing cycle. We're in a cycle, a social justice cycle, and we need to seize the moment, maximize this opportunity to open up some space for young adults like you to show what they can do and listen and implement their ideas for how to make change happen.
Absolutely. So if you guys are, 18 to 35 and looking to really step out as leaders, or to have your voice heard in a very impactful and effective way, also looking to make a little extra $500, apply before April 30th. We're gonna include the application link with our podcast. And you can find it on our website at instituteforblackjustice.org. We'll have it in our bio on Instagram. We'll have it all over our Facebook page, all over my personal Facebook page, Carol's personal page. It's gonna be everywhere, guys. So do not sleep on this. It's gonna be fun. Carol, thank you so much. I just want to say, you guys all, please be safe. We are entering into those longer days and brighter nights and summer months. Well, maybe not in Washington.
Almost.
So just be safe, as things start to open up, more people are out and about, right? You guys carry yourself class, as we Black people do.
And be careful. We want to see you June 28, 29, 30. You better get on and get registered and get those tickets, because there's only a couple hundred, and boy, people were already, they were on it. Like a minute after we posted the announcement, folks were emailing me saying, where's the link to Eventbrite? Like, okay, I'll figure out how to get it to you.
Carol, before we close, remind people, if they're, your demographic, how they can participate in the Freedom Summer Symposium.
Yeah, when they go on to Eventbrite, first of all, there's 2 levels of tickets. If you're 14 to 20, it's $30. If you are 21 and over, it'll be $60. If you can't make it, what you can do is make a donation that'll cover that fee for some young person who can't otherwise afford to come. And the other thing that we can do, I mean, anybody can do that, but it's being there to hear the guest speakers, to talk about what Good Trouble meant to you when you were in your early life, and what it means to you now. Maybe some good trouble you've gotten into, because the design team is going to need focus groups and feedback providers on what they're doing. So they need to hear from you, and then on the last day, we'll hear from them on how what we've had to share has shaped their ideas about social justice.
Yes, and not to mention, your donation will afford you an IBJ face mask. We're looking into t-shirts, so that we can at least send you guys a thank you, a gift, to feel like we were all a part of this event, this Freedom Summer Symposium 2021. It's gonna be great. And just to clarify, if you're 18 and 35, we are selecting 30 people, and this is no charge. For the 30 applicants that we select, we're not charging you a dime. In fact, we're paying you to be a part of the design challenge. Now, what Carol just mentioned, if you're not a part of that group of 30, that cohort, then you can also participate with this very small donation, as she just mentioned, and then that will come with a face mask or a t-shirt. So
yes. We got to get those t-shirts ordered.
I know. If you guys know somebody about t-shirts, reach out to us, because that's on my to-do list.
That's on your to-do list. That's right. Well, thank you so much for tonight, and be well until I talk to you soon. Okay?
I will. All right.
All right.
See you guys.